live here in FN Studios in Indianapolis, bringing you a review of 1965.
On February 21st, African-American nationalist and religious leader Malcolm X was shot and killed. He was assassinated by Thomas Hagen, a member of the Nation of Islam. This occurred while he was addressing the Afro-American unity in Washington Heights. Many members of the Civil Rights Movement, as well as the entire nation, have felt a major pain from the loss of Malcolm X. But we should not remember Malcolm X as a martyr for civil rights, but instead as a strong civil rights leader who helped end racism.
Also, the Vietnam War escalated immensely during 1965. In March, the United States sent 3,500 Marines, which were our first combat troops sent into the war. Throughout the year, more and more troops were being drafted and sent to the war by President Johnson. It totaled to about 400,000 soldiers at the end of the year. Tension also fomented in the United States, with many anti-war protests taking place. One of these protests were a protest in Washington, D.C. with 25,000 protesters. Here is some footage from protests that took place during this year.
This was the first U.S. war that was heavily protested by the U.S. citizens.
Now we're going to go to Steve for a status report on the Palm Sunday tornadoes.
Thanks, guys. I am live here in Porter County, Indiana, just one of the many affected areas of the tornado outbreak. Behind me, you can see all of the devastated homes that were knocked down by the tornado, all across this field. Nothing left but rubble. As you can see, this is where the destructive EF3 twister touched down at approximately 9 p.m. last evening. As you would expect, the people of this community are trying to gather together in order to recover from this disaster. As many as 20 have been killed right here, and many more injured, with many homes and barns being consumed by the powerful twister. Currently, over 271 fatalities have been reported, and over 1,500 have been affected by injuries nationwide. At this point, people are trying to support each other on this Palm Sunday. Over to Zach.
Instead of looking back on the sadness of this loss, let us look upon a step towards a brighter future. The Gemini Project, which has now been running for 5 years, recently sent its first crewed flight into low orbit around the Earth. This historic event transpired on March 23, 1965. The crew consisted of James A. McDivitt and Edward H. White II. These two were the first of the Gemini Project astronauts to reach space and help blaze the new frontier. In March 1965, civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. peacefully organized a demonstration for African American civil rights and voting rights by marching from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama. Dr. King led roughly 3,000 people on the journey to the Capitol, where they were met by 30,000 more civilians who wished to join the demonstration. Although the march was not always easy, by August 1965, President Johnson signed the Voting Rights Act of 1965 into effect, which finally guaranteed African Americans the right to vote. Let's go back to our reel where we have our on-the-scene anchor getting footage of this historic moment.
It's a memorable day for all minorities in this nation. After much hard work and dedication, the Voting Rights Act of 1965 has been approved. Currently, I am in Washington, D.C., where President Lyndon B. Johnson is signing the act. This is a major step towards equality in our nation, and we hope to continue this progress in the near and even distant future.
Coach, my stomach hurts. I don't know if I'm going to be able to play.
Here, John, have some Pepto-Bismol tablets.
Pepto-Bismol tablets? I thought they only came in liquid.
Nope. Now Pepto-Bismol comes in tablets so you can take them on the road.
Wow. Let me try one of those. Now I'm ready to play. In 1965, the Boston Celtics continued their reign of domination in the NBA. They currently beat the Los Angeles Lakers in Game 7. This is incredible and unheard of in the world of sports, and is their 7th straight championship.
Can't tell that from the party taking place in Boston right now. Star players Sam Jones, Bill Russell, and John Havlicek led the team. We now go to an exclusive press conference with John Havlicek.
Yes.
After a close series with the 76ers, what allowed you to dominate the Lakers like you did?
Something really just seemed to click in this series. I don't think the Lakers really played badly. It was just that everybody was working as a team this series. Bill Russell was coming down with almost every rebound. Sam Jones was making his shots. I was making my shots. Next question.
John, does this championship feel any different than the last one?
No, a championship is still a championship. I mean, I'm still excited. I know we've been working hard all season. The fans, Boston's probably partying up like crazy right now. And I don't think it gets old. I'll win as many championships. It'll still feel the same. Next question.
John, what are you planning on doing after this?
For at least a night or two, the team and me are going to celebrate it up, party on the town a bit. After that, it would be nice to have some family time, go back home, relax, and get ready for the next season. Last question, yes?
John, what do you think about your team's chances next year?
Right now, we're still focused on this championship. I mean, we're going to be ready. We're going to keep working hard after this little break. We still have the same guys, and we're going to give it our best shot. Hopefully we can bring home another one.
Now let's look at some highlights from John Havlicek's past season.
Through the traffic to get a good spot for a rebound. Havlicek is a real scrambler.
Hey, John! He came to play every night. You know, there's some players who won't just let down. Now, Havlicek wanted to win every game.
Stolen by Havlicek. Havlicek, a 3-on-2 break to Bailey Howell.
And we're back. Now let's talk about some of our Grammy Award winners from 1965. First, we have the winner of Album of the Year, who turned out to be Stan Getz and Gal Gilberto, with their album Getz and Gilberto. Second, we have the winner of Best Album Cover of the Year. This award goes to Barbra Streisand with her cover, People. Finally, in a shocking turn of events, we have the winner of the New Artist Award of the Year. The top new artist of the year turned out to be the Liverpool-originating rock band The Beatles. This group, consisting of George Harrison, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and John Lennon, managed to soar to the top with their likable attitude and their lovable songs such as Yesterday, Hey Jude, Penny Lane, Day Tripper, and Come Together. Though they are now the group women around the world flock to, they actually all came from quite humble beginnings. The Beatles all came from low-income families and did not have much to their names. They also began their careers playing in small clubs and bars near Liverpool and around Hamburg, Germany. The first claim to fame they had came in 1962 when the Beatles recorded one of the top 20 UK hits. This song was Love Me Do. After this, they began creating more and more hit songs and albums until they reached the point of stardom they are currently presiding at. The Beatles are now seen as worldwide stars, and we can be sure that their families are more than proud of them. How about we listen to some of their music as a tribute?
We're taking the easy way out now. It was a day to forget.
Look at two of the greatest films of 1965.
First off was The Sound of Music, which included a woman leaving an Austrian convent to become governess to the children of a naval officer's widower. The lead actress was Julia Andrews, and she won Oscar of the Year for a woman in a leading role.
Second was the film Mary Poppins. The story of Mary Poppins consisted of a banker's family in need of a nanny for their rowdy children, Jane and Michael. The nanny, Mary Poppins, comes in and over time helps the family come together. The cast consisted of Julie Andrews playing Mary Poppins, David Tomlinson playing Mr. Banks, Matthew Garber playing Michael, and Karen Dotrice playing Jane.
Man, 1965 sure was poppin', so much I want to marry it. Even though there were some sad times, a spoonful of puns will help the history go down. And